what we do in the future and how well we would like to live in our 70s, 80s, and beyond is largely determined by the choices that we make today. Hi, I'm Jo Clark, and thanks so much for joining me today. This is the Redefining Midlife podcast, a podcast designed for the 40-plus woman who is determined to challenge society's myths and beliefs around midlife. It's for the woman who is inspired and ready to define midlife her way. Join me each week as I chat to health and wellness experts for up-to-date information on how to live well as some special conversations with incredible everyday women redefining what midlife can look like. Here's to making our next half of life even better than the first. Hello and welcome to episode 88 of the Redefining Midlife podcast. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that's near and dear to my heart. Why the whole one-size-fits-all approach to health and wellness is a total myth. If you're a busy midlife woman navigating the roller coaster of life, this episode is tailor-made for you. So grab a cup of tea or pop in your earbuds, head for that walk of yours, and let's get started. Now, first up, let's dive deeper into why our bodies are as unique as our fingerprints. Seriously, no two are alike. Yet for some reason, we've been sold an idea that there's a magic formula for health and wellness that works for everyone. But spoiler alert, it doesn't exist. Think about it this way. Would you expect a single pair of shoes to fit every foot perfectly? Imagine trying to cram your size 8 feet into a size 6 shoe. It just wouldn't work. In the same way, expecting a one-size-fits-all approach to health and wellness to suit every woman, especially during the menopause transition, is like trying to force your feet into shoes that are just too small. I'm just going to keep using feet as an analogy here. So just like our feet come in different shapes and different sizes, our bodies have their own unique characteristics and requirements. Okay, so some of us might have high arches, others have got wide feet. Some of us might have bunions or other foot conditions. Maybe your feet are different sizes, or perhaps they change size after pregnancy. Similarly, our bodies have got different genetic makeups, we have different lifestyles, different stress levels, and hormonal levels that influence our health and our wellness needs. So what works for your best friend or even your sister might not work for you, and that's perfectly okay. So just as you wouldn't settle for shoes that pinch or squeeze, don't settle for health advice or wellness practices that don't fit your unique needs or season of life. You need to embrace the individuality of your body and look for strategies and approaches that cater to your specific requirements, taking into account your past experiences, any injuries you might have had, and your health history. So let's just talk about that ever-changing landscape of our health needs. As women, we've already gone through multiple life transitions. We went through childhood, puberty, many of us went through pregnancy or a number of pregnancies, and the biggie at this stage of life is menopause. During this transition time, our bodies are like a hormonal amusement park. There's so many twists and turns that we never saw coming. And what worked for us in our 20s or even 30s just might not cut it anymore. Suddenly, our metabolism decides to take a vacation and our energy levels are playing hide and seek. It's like our bodies are saying, hey, remember me, I'm different now. Look, I know how it feels. Constantly living in that blah zone really isn't much fun. We need to slow down, listen to our body, and then act. And as women in our 40s all the way through to our 60s, we're not starting from scratch. We're carrying decades of experiences in these bodies of ours. Maybe you've got a knee that acts up when it rains, which could be a reminder of that ski trip that you took in your 20s. Or perhaps you dealt with a thyroid issue in your 30s that still affects you today. I'm just going to use myself as an example. I've got 2 very dodgy knees that in the not too distant future will no doubt need replacing. Both of my knees have got severe osteoarthritis. One was due to a major knee injury that resulted in a knee reconstruction that I had in my late teens, and the other one is damage from taking the brunt of work from my other knee's weakness. My tailbone is also causing me grief after fracturing it, giving birth almost 25 years ago. I've also got a history of osteoporosis in my family. So all of this just means that the type of movement or exercise that I do to support and cater for my body might be very different to the type of exercise or movement that you do. So these past injuries, these illnesses and life experiences, they shape our bodies and our health needs in ways that we can't ignore. They're like chapters in our life story, with each one leaving its mark on our physical and our emotional well-being. So when we talk about finding what works best for our bodies, it's just not about our current state. It's also acknowledging and honouring the journey that brought us here. It's about recognising that our bodies have been through a lot and they deserve personalised care and attention that's tailored to their unique histories. But we have to remember it's not all about looking back. We also need to look forward. Just as we recognise and support our past health needs, we should acknowledge and prepare for our future ones. As we age, our bodies will continue to change and our health needs will need to evolve with them. Now, all going well, we've still got decades of adult life ahead of us. There is still a lot of life left to live. Many people underestimate just how much life we still have ahead of us. In fact, at midlife, our story is only half told. What we do in the future and how well we would like to live in our 70s, 80s, and beyond is largely determined by the choices that we make today. And as I explained in episode 85, midlife is a time between 40 and 65, and our lifespan is increasing. But there's a big difference between our lifespan and our health span. Our lifespan is how long we live, and our health span is how well we lived. That is, how long we're able to live without the effects from serious chronic diseases, and how well we're able to live independently. Now, the good news is we don't have to age biologically as quickly as we do chronologically. The research findings from studies in the science of epigenetics clearly shows that how well we live each day has a profound impact, not just on our health and well-being, but how we also age. Creating a wellness recipe or plan that suits your health needs today will help to support your health in the future. There are, of course, certain wellness habits that we know will benefit the majority, if not all of us. And they're what I call the 6 pillars. So just a few of them might be daily movement that we should have, good nutrition, adequate sleep, stress management. But these should be with practice and habits that support your own body's unique needs. How you come up with that recipe or plan is something that I teach the lovely ladies in the Better Than Before membership. So let's not only celebrate how far we've come, but also prepare ourselves for the journey ahead. Let's invest in our future health by nurturing our bodies today, by making choices that support our long-term well-being and embracing the personalised care and attention that our bodies deserve at every stage of life. Because just like a good friend, our bodies have been with us through thick and thin, and they deserve all the love and the support that we can give them. And this is where the one-size-fits-all approach falls flat on its face. So just remember this, your body is a patchwork or a mosaic of experiences, and what it needs today might be different from what it needed yesterday, and it most certainly will be different from what it's going to need in the future. Your wellness plan needs to be flexible and suited to your season of life, and it has to be suited for things that might pop up in life. Maybe what you need to do is start to incorporate more strength training to combat bone loss, or maybe you'd be focusing on stress management techniques to help you through a difficult time. Just remember to embrace your uniqueness, honour your journey, and trust that you know your body best. And last but not least, let's talk about the importance of the mind-body connection. Our mental and our emotional well-being play a huge role in our overall health. Yet it's often overlooked in this one-size-fits-all. Stress, anxiety, negative thought patterns, they can all wreak havoc on our bodies, especially during menopause when hormones are already throwing a big party. And then you add in the many other transitions of this time of life, and it's like adding fuel to the fire. So instead of just focusing on diet and exercise, we really do need a holistic approach that nurtures our minds, our souls, as much as our bodies. So this could mean you're incorporating mindfulness practices like meditation or yoga, or seeking therapy or counseling, or simply just carving out time for hobbies that bring us joy. Remember, health just isn't about the absence of disease. It's about thriving in every aspect of our lives. And that starts with embracing the interconnectedness of our mind, of our body, and of our spirit. The one-size-fits-all approach to health and wellness is as outdated as our Year 12 formal dress. And as busy women navigating the twists and turns of life, especially during menopause, it's crucial that we ditch the cookie-cutter solutions and embrace what truly works for us as individuals. Now, I know in theory it all sounds very simple, and you might be wondering on how on earth are you going to be able to put this all together to create your own wellness plan. Well, next week, I'm going to be sharing all of the details on how you can sign up for my free online workshop called How to Feel Like Yourself Again. I'm going to be walking through the 3 essentials for midlife women, and by the end of the workshop, no matter how tired or how busy your life might be, you're going to have a flexible wellness plan to suit your needs so that you can live better for longer. That's it for today. Thanks so much for tuning in. And until next time, take care. Thanks so much for listening and sharing your time with me today. I'd love you to hit subscribe on Apple Podcast or your favorite podcast app to keep spreading these empowering messages. Please share this podcast with other incredible midlife women in your world. Join me again next week for another Redefining Midlife conversation. Thanks again for tuning in.